Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai. We present this weekly program every Thursday night, 6 to 8. I'm Lama Tashi, and it's in the tradition of all the lineages of Tibetan Buddhism, but primarily the Kagyu, what we call Karmapa lineage, and the Shankpa lineage of Kala Rinpoche. But we are a remade center, and we honor all the lineage masters, all the teachers, men and women, monks, nuns, and lamas of all the traditions. And of course, the most prominent is the Dalai Lama, who I'm honored to say is one of my direct teachers. In presenting the class tonight, we're using what we call the female aspect of enlightenment in the Tibetan tradition is Tara. Now the name Tara means Bodhisattva mother or Bodhisattva woman. And in the Tibetan tradition, the women follow into, just like the men, 3 categories. Those of the monk, we say nun tradition. They use the term Ani or Aniwa in some of the lineages. We also have householder women who run Dharma centers or are married or have relationships outside of keeping the vows of the nun. And then we have the yoginis, and these are the ones that are usually in seclusion, either in retreat or in very remote areas doing specific practices. In any case, the Tara tradition here on Kauai, or in the islands, is represented on all the islands by what we call the Tara Datu tradition, which was started by my good friend Prema Darshala, who lives on Maui. And in presenting the Tara, which originated in the Tibetan tradition with Yeshe Sogyal, who was Padmasambhava's student and consort in Tibet, and she also was the first Tibetan Lama. We have a Dharma center here that is specifically called the Tara Dharma Center. And it is run by a group of women, and they completely take care of all of the necessities. And when they need special teachings, they have visiting lamas come and do that. But the Tara, to understand what this is, an individual that wants to become deeper in their spiritual practice is the best way to put it. I'm going to read from Prema's book, which she uses in the Tara retreats, which she was just here last weekend and did a weekend retreat in Kapal with many women. I went and got this book from her because a lot of my students do Tara practice. And in the very first part of the book, it has the prayer of motivation. And I'm going to read it because this is what we are doing spiritually. I am here to manifest wisdom that rests within each and every one of us. I'm here to radiate my loving compassion into this world. I'm here to gather the skill and the power to bless, empower, and help all others to alleviate their pain and help to alleviate their pain and suffering and bring them to true understanding of who and what they are. And then she has the next part, says, manifesting on Tara, a daily prayer. The fundamental nature of my mind is pure. Within me is an inexhaustible source of unconditional love, wisdom, and power. The purpose of all spiritual practice is to reveal this and make contact with this through practice. When ignorance is removed, unlimited wisdom, compassion, and power arise. It generates in the world as loving kindness. It is the mind's conditioning that limits our understanding of how to accomplish this. How to accomplish of who, what we really are and what we can become. I will cleanse my mind of all faults and develop beneficial qualities. In doing so, I will remove all obstacles to my path to become accomplished in this tradition, and in the process create beneficial conditions for myself, others, and the environment. Recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings, I will strive to be my best, to manifest my enlightened potential, and forever dedicate all to the benefit of all beings. At all times, I will think, speak, act, and act as Tara. So this is a commitment prayer, which we use the word samaya, or sometimes pronounced samaya. With that, we take refuge. In taking refuge, you are making the altruistic aspiration, which is actually the motivation of Tibetan Buddhism, that all beings will come to understand their true nature and use it to benefit limitless beings and their environment. The second part of the refuge is called the support, which is the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, which is called the three jewels, and the Lama and deity and protector symbols, which are the three sources of tantric practice. That's all called the support. Then the actual practice is the 6 disciplines of the Bodhisattva path. So I'm going to read the first part and say it in Sanskrit so the spirits in and around us know that we're doing this refuge all together. Tadang Joa Nampe Tadang Yampe Senchen Tamche Dudine Junte Jisi Jengshu Tenko Lachi Bardu. Then we say the refuge prayer in Sanskrit together. Alden Lama Dampa Nanwa Jatsu Chiyo Yidam Chokor Hi Vatso Nanwa Jatsu Chiyo Sanjay Chon Dende Nanwa Jatsu Chiyo Dante Chur Nanwa Jatsu Chiyo Tao Te Gendu Namma Jatsu Chiyo Tao Kanjo Chochu Shume Sho Yeshe Pi Shendang Denpa Namma Jatsu Chiyo Sanjay Chodan Choti Chonamwa Gentu Padu Tao Te Jatsu Dagi Jinso Tipe Sonaki Tola Benzer Sanjay Gupang. The altruistic motivation goes like this. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now altogether take refuge in the offer of prostration. We go for refuge to all these glorious holy lamas. We go for refuge to all the yins or the deities gathered in our mandala. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who conquered the mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha. We go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis, who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these possess the eye of transcending awareness. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 disciplines, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Now, Buddhahood. That's an odd word, Buddhahood. In Sanskrit, it's Sanjay, Tibetan Sanskrit, which means cleared completely of judgment or emotional program. And that's it. Once that is accomplished through these practices, whether it be Mahayana level of practice or the Tantric Vajrayana level, there's nothing more to do in the human condition. You're mature, which is what the word Buddha means. Translated, it's 2 words. Just like Sanjay, cleared completely. Buddha. Bu means patterning, resonance, vibration. Da means light or energy. And in our universe, this 3-dimensional world we are here because of the energy of the universe. Those 2, the patterning and the light. And where does this take place? It's in a limitless, boundless area of space. And that's incomprehensible. But that's the totality of the life support system that we feed on, that supports us, that causes us to exist in physical form, whether it be animal, human, or spirit. And in this way, what we are doing with these shamanistic practices is taking that energy program and using it the same way that the natural world around us uses it. And it needs to be simplified, because the totality of space, the totality of light, all of that, even though it's 3-dimensional, it's hard to conceptualize. So what do? We make it workable so that in the process of this energy program and feeding on it, which is what we do, by breathing, eating, sleeping, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, and even thinking. All of that is based on 5 female creation principles. And it's been that way since humans evolved. And they are, I'm going to use my hand for the summary. Earth, water, fire, air, the ring finger, and space, the pinky. Earth, water, fire, air, and space. If I take those symbolically in the Tibetan tradition, everywhere you go, Tibet, Mongolia, all the Himalayan countries, India, so forth, Kashmir, all the way to Bhutan, Nepal. They have these, and other places on the planet, they have these, they're called children. Chur means offering of the doctrine. But this symbol, of which I'm holding one in my hand, which is made of crystal, is a stupa, or in some cases, a stuma. It depends on the symbol of the arrangement of the elements of the stupa. But this one, and most of them, which fall into actually 13 different kinds, the base, all this square part, is the symbolic of the earth, which supports it. Similarly, when we use meditation practice, you can use the stupa as a source, or we use a geometric six-sided square like this. This part looks like an upside-down bowl, and the door, which usually has a symbolic symbol of a bodhisattva or a Buddha in the door, this part is the water element. And that's like our body. The body's mostly water. Then this square part that supports these golden discs is the fire radiation. This symbolizes the enlightened nature of mind as it progresses towards what we call maturity. So you have the earth, the water, the fire. Then these two at the top are the lotus, which the lotus is what we describe as an enlightened being taking birth on a planet, because the lotus requires all 5 elements to appear, and it does it so beautifully in the air element. Then the light that it shows, the color, whatever, that's the sun and moon disk at the top. That's the space element. So we have earth, water, fire, air, space. On the very, very tip of the sun disk is a little flame. And that is our awareness, which we all have. Now, this was presented to me when I went to Sanskrit recently, Santa Fe recently for a monlam, a fair festival, which a bunch of lamas, actually about 200, got together to make aspirations for 5 days, what we're going to do with all this, these accomplishments, these practices, this life and future life. But to simplify healing, which is what all energy is about for us humans, we have to understand that it's a holistic application, because earth, water, fire, and air makes everything in the universe. That's why it's called the mother principle. So the sun is the mother, the moon is the mother, the solar system is the mother, the galaxy is the mother, and the universe itself is the mother. Therefore, when we come into this world, we come to a mother. And that brings us to the application of these practices for us in this human condition. We fall into 2 aspects of being. In other words, there's 2 kinds of humans. Not just the male and the female. There's the enlightened human, and then there's those that aren't. Well, it so happens on this planet the majority is the ones that aren't. But in any case, there's enough enlightened ones on the planet today to help us survive and become mature, which is what our mothers, the best idea of a mother would wish for their children. So to start the practice, we are going to entertain the Tara principle of the perfect Bodhisattva mother of compassion, power, and wisdom or insight. I'm explaining this to everyone that of the two genders, male or female, one of them is in charge of the birth process. One of them does that. That's the female, of course. And therefore, they have to have special qualities. And these special qualities, based on loving kindness and compassion, extend into the animal world. And that's how we survive. Now, this basis of loving kindness and compassion can be applied, is applied two ways. Conditionally, which is what most of us do, and unconditionally, which a few of us do. Of course, you have a choice. But unconditional love, you have to understand the basis. And the basis is understanding that your mind has two natures, not just one nature. Everybody's all stuck in this, everybody, humans, are stuck in the drama mind, monkey mind. Aren't we? Socially. At all levels of social intercourse, interconnected. And that brings up another point, we're all interconnected, which very few people get that one. But everything in this universe, including all the sentient beings, are all interconnected. They cannot independently arise or self-create. It doesn't work that way. It has to be all together. So that's the first rule of shamanism, tantric shamanism. The second rule, based on loving kindness and compassion, is that the conditioned existence is totally unfavorable. Huh? Yeah, the drama world word. It's unfavorable. Why? Because there's another way of existing that doesn't do that. That's favorable. Why? First of all, you don't have aging, sickness, and death. First of all, everything stays, doesn't change constantly. Third, you don't have physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual suffering. And you can start your daily idea of who and what you are with it. You have a favorable existence, that you're already a Buddha, that you're already a mature human being. You go right there. That's what this statue behind me symbolizes. Maturity, interconnectedness, those two things. It's the Aksobhaya Buddha field. But it's simply an energy field of awareness that's not judgmental. So to simplify the two natures of your mind, you have the judgmental mind and you have the non-judgmental mind. Lucky for us as humans, we have a choice. Animals, spirits, heaven to hell and in between, they don't have a choice. They're stuck, emotionally stuck. This human condition gives you this opportunity to deliberately move out of the judgmental nature of interaction socially and every other way into the other nature and still be a human. Still be in the human condition. Still be what your mom wants you to be, alive, well, and happy. We're going to do that. Well, I'll show you one more symbol of the Dharma, the bell, with the dorji stuck in the top. This is the dorji. 5 elements, 5 states of awareness. This is used in tantric practice as a spiritual enticement to call the female energy of the spirit world into your practice situation. And all the lamas have a bell, and all the lamas have a gorget. And beyond that, they don't have much else, especially if they're monks and nuns. When you receive the transmission of whatever symbol the lama is giving as a practice method, the vibration of the energy of it comes from the lineage that started 2,600 years ago with Shakyamuni Buddha, Gautama, spread through India and then all the Himalayan countries, all the way to Kashmir, Afghanistan, and on up into Tibet and Mongolia and eastern China. And this tradition follows along 3 lines of transmission. The first one is that of the light of the clear nature of the mind. That's the Om. We're not the only one to use that sound, vibrational sound for spiritual practice, but we use it as a mind-to-mind transmission of wisdom, insight. Then we have the Ah, which is the vibration of how things sound, and that is applied to your speech, and that's looks something like the Om, but it's an Ah. It's the first letter of most of the languages on the planet, including Sanskrit. And then we have the Hum, which is a combination of these two in effect. That means these are the cause, and this is the effect. This could be called spiritual karma. But these 3 are the transmission of the body, speech, and mind of the teacher. And whatever the teacher is practicing to attain maturity to you. So these can be used as a mantra. They are used in all of the empowerment practices of the Mahayana and Tantric tradition. And we're going to start with these 3, the Om, the Ah, and the Hum, by coordinating them with the breath. Then, the second part of the practice is we're going to, even though the 5 elements have to be connected to be effective, for symptomatic and causal healing, mostly symptomatic, you separate the elements into each one separately. So tonight we're going to specifically use the fire element. This anybody can do, any tradition of healing, symptomatic healing, which is what most of the healing on the planet is. And you have to use your imagination. You have to use your mental power together with your focus, which means like a magnifying glass of the sun power. So we're going to start with the 3 lights, with the 3 breaths. Refine that, use the 4-sided pyramid as the fire symbol. Stabilize the mind with that so that we get the motivation together with the meditation, the focus and the imagination working together to be the cause of the spiritual accomplishment when we go to the level of the tantric practice of the TUTARE. So sit with your back straight. Also, this will be the empowerment for anybody that's watching this to do these TUTARE practices to accomplish KURU and be a benefit to others. So, back straight, slightly, head stilted, hands in a comfortable position. You put mine on my knees, or you could be in your lap. Mouth closed to start with, tongue resting against the palate. Eyes slightly open with the gaze into the light energy of space directly in front, about arm's length in front. Then you bring your focus, your awareness, which we all have, to your breath. As you inhale, you imagine the air coming in as white light, filling your lungs. The middle breath, called the absorption breath, is visualized as red light generated to every cell in your body, like a flash of energy taking place, which the body does that spontaneously. Then you bring these two, the inhale and the absorption breath together, and exhale out the nose, blue light to space. This generates the power available to others and the environment of the world around us, the spirit world and natural environment. Breathe. Inhale white light, fill the lungs. Generate the absorption breath as red light flashing through your body. Blow together out the nose as blue light to space. Goes everywhere. In using this code, the three lights Prana Yoga code practice of the three lights, white, red, and blue, when you feel yourself settling into a state of peace, calm abiding, withdrawing your association with the worldly drama of the day, then take your focus off the breath, collect the three lights into a tiny particle in your heart chakra. The purpose of this is to get you out of your head, out of this chattering mental program, 24/7 stop. And focus on that particle of these three as connecting to the infinite light of boundless space. Our energy, life, supports system of this universe. And develop a presence, a moment-to-moment presence, where it's not even necessary to focus. Just relax. Contemplate faith. In a word, very peaceful, this. Then move from this unconditional state with your focus and your imagination now working together. Recreate the particle in the heart chakra. And with your imagination, visualize it to grow into a small sphere of clear light And this is the method of entering from one dimension into this third-dimensional, three-dimensional world we call our universe. Keeping focus and imagination together, visualize that small sphere of clear light grow and expand in your heart center until it creates a six-sided cube of golden or yellow light. Label it Earth. And we'll use this for the cycling healing process of this 5 elements meditation practice. Visualize this symbol, this six-sided cube, about the size of your thumbnail, about the size of a cube of sugar. Move out in front of your chest and up before your eyes, where you had softened your gaze to start your practice. Then visualize it to grow in size large enough that you can see yourself just as you are sitting inside, comfortably inside. Maybe the size of the area where you're practicing, the room, the place. Receiving the full healing energy psychically, which is how the mind works, of the 5 elements, which support all life. Then share this energy, which is what we're doing with all our practices, by visualizing this six-sided cube to expand in size for us to completely enclose this island of Kauai and surrounding ocean, air, everything, everybody inside. Receiving the full healing potential of the elemental nature of life force of our Mother Universe. Then expanded in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere, sharing with all the beings from the center of the planet to the boundary of space. Then expanded in size with your imagination to completely enclose our solar system, including all the planets and our sun, Mother Sun. Expanded in size to completely enclose the galaxy. Billions of suns, trillions of planets, all inside. Then move beyond the confines of your drama mind, your conceptual mind, again into the spatial aspect, the totality of the fabric of spatial awareness. And again, simply relax. In that completely free, open, peaceful field of energy. Contemplate space. Now gather all the light of that space, the infinite proportions of this light support energy system, and with your imagination create a huge four-sided pyramid enclosing our galaxy, colored red. Label it fire. Apply this to every light form that exists in this galaxy. Imagination and focus working together reduce it in size to just enclose the solar system. Shrink the six-sided red pyramid labeled fire to just enclose Mother Earth, like the sun's energy does. Shrink it in size to just enclose the area where you live, the city, town, or a large area of where you're doing this practice. We enclose the island of Kauai. Then focus it all to just your body inside. You like energy? This is as powerful as it gets. Then bring it to its original small size, about the size of your thumbnail, to in front of your eyes. 2 feet in front. See it there. Bring it to chest level into your heart chakra. This is where everything starts and ends in tantric practice. Shrink it to a small sphere of clear light and keep shrinking it until it becomes a particle merging with the infinite light of boundless space. And rest in the present moment contemplating space. Relax, no meditation. Completely open, completely free, peaceful, clear. No drama here. In a word, bliss. When your capacity for this quality is full, bring your awareness to in front of your eyes and expand it into your area of practice. And as Lama Rinchen says, pray. Without the support of the planet, the earth, the human condition cannot exist in this universe. And without the support of the awareness and imagination of fire, light, together with the element space, there is no accomplishment in shamanistic tradition. So wherever you see this, this is actually a healing energy program. And we have a very large one here on Kauai, which, since we're a healing center, we send many people to go to this place of the stupa and walk around it. We say circumambulate. There are many throughout the United States and Canada and other places. And there are many temples and there are many teachers. And to circumambulate those is a healing practice. And it also creates good future circumstances for the individual doing that. And it might not be apparent that anything's changing unless you're, like some, extremely sensitive. But it is very powerful. Now we're going to move on from the basic practice of the 5 elements, which causes us to accomplish the purpose of meditation, which is using the mind's mental process together with the healing energy of the universe to become mature. We're going to do the same 3 lights practice with the breath, prana yoga. We're going to add these 3 sounds as the transmission of the body, speech, and mind of all the lamas, of all the lineages of Tibetan Buddhism, all the way back to Shakyamuni Buddha, and wherever they arrived in other cultures on the planet. China, Mongolia, India, Tibet, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, Burma, and so forth. These 3 sounds are in the stupa. Together with 2 more. And they are connecting the 5 elements to 5 states of inner awareness. These 5 states are all one state, but individually applied not only for healing, but to gain knowledge, to gain expertise in becoming a mature human. And they are not separate, or actually their cause is the mother principle of the 5 elements. When we use these in the stupa, they're all there. The 5 elements is the earth, water, fire, air, and space. And the 5 states of awareness are the Om, Ah, Hum, Sham, and Shri. Now the Om, the Ah, and the Hum are what we're going to start this practice with. First of all, just to get a feeling of the power of mantric application with your speech, we're going to chant Om, Ah, Hum. Sit with your back straight, eyes in front, mouth closed, a little bit tilt to your head forward, hands comfortable. Om, Om. So you're inhaling. So the first sound is coming in is the air of the inhale going out as Om. Om. The energy passing through your body is the Ah. And the application to the beings and the environment that we live in, Om. Om. All the deities, all the lamas, all the methods are based on Om. 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 One more time. Om. Om. Now to dispel obstacles, you can use the Om. The Om and the Ah also very powerful. But the Om originated with the Buddha Shakyamuni as the medicine Buddha tradition, which is what all Tantric and Mahayana practice is about. So we have what we call the 10 Homs. The first 3 are your body, speech, and mind becoming healthy, maturing. The second 4 are those 3 in the process of generating the 4 vehicles that cause others to mature. They're called kayas or vehicles. There's 4 of them. 1 for the body, 1 for the speech, 1 for the mind, and 1 for them all being together through meditative focus and the use of your imagination, the power of the mind. Then there are 3 that accomplish that in the state of maturity in the human condition. And that's the body, speech, and mind, or the 3 bodies of the Buddha, a fully trained Bodhisattva. So we're going to do these 10 Om. And whenever you have obstacles or extreme drama in your life, I recommend stepping aside and applying these 10 sounds with your voice to those toxic situations. Inhale, first 3. Then 4. And the power of the 3 vehicles of the Buddha, mature body, speech, and mind for everyone. So upon awakening, that's the 4. Then you finish with the 3. Try it. You'll like it. Now we're going to start the practice of the TUTARE tradition with the breath. Inhale white light. Hear the sound Om. Generate the absorption breath of energy passing through the body, visualizing it as red light to every cell. Hear the sound Om. Bring these 2 together. Exhale out the nose is the powerful healing breath of blue light to space. Hear the sound Om. Like the roar of a lion. Inhale. Om. Inhale, do the middle breath. Hold. Red light. Om. Float together out the nose to everyone, to the environment, everywhere. Blue light. Boom. Boom. Without the sound, inhale white light. Hear the Om. Energy absorption through the body, red light. Hear the sound Ah. Both blended together out the nose with a powerful healing breath, the space. Everyone, hear the sound Om. Breathe like that. No sound, just breathe. Om Om. Then visualize the Lama in front. From the Lama's forehead of this transmission of the TUTARE, white light generates into your head. From the Lama's forehead into your head. This is the empowerment to be the deity in a body of rainbow light, the illusory body of TUTARE. From the lama's throat, red light generates from the lama's throat to your throat. This is to generate the deity as a vibratory sound of mantra and a powerful speech of TUTARE. Then from the lama's heart chakra, blue light to your heart center is the wisdom empowerment of understanding your true nature and how to use it. Then the Mama blends into you, like water into water. And the empowerment of the three lights is established within the central channel of your life force, with the visualization of a white light in your center of your head with the sound Om. The red light in your throat with inside the sound Ah. And in your heart chakra, the dark blue light inside with the sound Blue Om. Then to create the deity's sweet soul, you bring the white light in your head. Visualize it moving down the central channel into your throat chakra. These two blending together move down the central channel into your heart chakra. All three together now change into the sweet soul of the deity. It starts with Om and becomes whatever symbol, creation, sound the Lama establishes in your practice, for your practice. Tonight, it's the sound Tom, T-A-M. And so you visualize the Tom as the three Om Ah Om, green in color, because it looks like a letter 5 with a dot over it, surrounded by a 5-colored sphere. All of this about the size of your thumbnail in the center of your heart chakra. Light radiates out from it to all the lineage masters of all the traditions, comes back into the Tom, and then radiates out to the universe to all sentient beings. This starts your practice, and you become green Tara. 2 arms, smiling, young, beautiful, hair piled up and some hanging down your back, dressed in beautiful silks and jewels as her ornaments for qualities. The 3 eyes symbolizing the compassion of power, insight, and unconditional loving kindness or compassion. Right hand open in supreme generosity, which means unconditional love and altruistic compassion, equally applied to every sentient being. And the left hand with the ring finger holding the stem of a lotus, beautiful lotus flower blooming by your left ear, is the sign of insight as a bodhisattva. The generation of this application of the bodhisattva to any planet where there are humans to be trained. Your left foot is drawn in meditation posture. The right foot is extended onto an 8-petal lotus, ready to move into action. She is surrounded by a 5-colored sphere of light, and her backrest is a beautiful white full moon. Your seat is also a moon resting on a sun disk on a 32-petal lotus flower. All of this in Technicolor, however you can see it, the 3D, that's who you are. And you're applying this rainbow body, illusory body, like a hologram, to replace your idea of the solid fixed body of your condition in existence. Then this same illusory body you apply to your mother visualized as a mirror image of you facing you in front, life size. Then you project it to your father, relatives, all the beings you have karma with this life. Lovers, friends, relatives, pets, enemies, the whole human race, 8 billion humans on this planet, all as the symbol of the Bodhisattva Tara. All the animals in the ocean and on the land, so now you're expanding like you did with the 5 elements, out beyond the planet, beyond the solar system. And then all the spirits in the entire universe. And now you've filled your mind, filling space with this mandala of the Tara. This causes the heart mantra to circle the green tom inside the 5-color spirit in your heart. When you sound that mantra, the letters face inward and blast energy through your body together with the tom. And all that healing energy goes out to the environment and everybody in it. And every being in your mandala equal to you, doing the same as you. All mother sentient beings as this spiritual Bodhisattva symbol. Om Tara TUTARE TURE SOHA. Om Tara TUTARE TURE SOHA. 10 sounds, 10 symbols. Om Tara TUTARE TURE SOHA. 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 We have an emerald greenish complexion and the green tom and the mantra symbols, each one a different color, blazing in your heart chakra. And all that healing energy through your holographic symbol of Tara out to space, like the sun does through our solar system. And every being in your mandala, same, does the same thing, equal. Illusory body. Om Tara TUTARE TURE SOHA. 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 Om Tara TUTARE TURE Now, if you're just doing the green tar, you would continue doing that till you reach whatever required number or time period you set for your formal session. Tonight, we're going to move to the white tar, or the space tar, and do her mantra and seat syllable practice. And she is called the Tara of the 7 eyes and 7 spheres. From her imaginary eye, the seed syllable bomb is placed in the heart center, overlaying or merging with the tongue. It's white in color, and it kind of looks like a squiggly cube with a dot in it. Circled by a 5-color sphere of light, with all that 3-dimensional application to your heart chakra. Then, take the Tara mantra, Om Tara TUTARE TURE SOHA, and put the Om above your head and the last syllable Ha under you. In the middle, from the bomb, the rest of the mantra, Tare TUTARE TURE SO, is on 8 spokes, radiating out from your heart. So the bomb is on the hub. The rest of the mantra, Tare TUTARE TURE SO, is up, creating these 8 spokes to a wheel, or an energy field around you. It's called a wheel, or corlo. So when you did the 21 taras, that's your sphere of protection. And it's just beyond the reach of your fingertips. Visualize. In those 8 spokes to the wheel, set up the mandala of the Tara as all sentient beings, and then on the hub is the rest of the mantra of the space Tara. Mama, Ayu, Punya, Jana, PUKTING, KURU, SOHA. So we're going to do just that much of the visualization, and all of that comes from your imaginary 3rd eye. Remember, she has 7 eyes and 7 spheres. This is the 1st eye, creating the 1st sphere. We're going to sound her mantra and just visualize that much. Om Tara TUTARE TURE Mama Ayu Punya PUKTING KURU SOHA. Om Tara TUTARE TURE Mama Ayu Punya PUKTING KURU SOHA. Om Tara TUTARE TURE Mama Ayu Punya PUKTING KURU SOHA. Now your white Tara, the white bomb in your heart center, and this whole crystalline effect of the hub, the spokes, and the wheel starts to form, the wheel starts to spin as you sound the mantra, and encloses your corlo, your energy field. Om Tara TUTARE TURE Mama Ayu Punya PUKTING KURU SOHA. Om Tara TUTARE TURE Mama Ayu Punya PUKTING KURU SOHA. Om Tara TUTARE TURE Mama Ayu Punya PUKTING KURU SOHA. Om Tara TUTARE TURE Mama Ayu Punya PUKTING KURU SOHA. KURU, Mama, PUNYA, PUKTING, KURU, SOHA, Om TURE, TURE, Mama, PUNYA, PUKTING, KURU, SOHA, Om TURE, Mama, PUNYA, PUKTING, KURU, SOHA, Om TUTARE, Mama, PUNYA, PUKTING, KURU, SOHA, Om TUTARE, Mama, PUNYA, PUKTING, KURU, SOHA, Om TUTARE, Mama, PUNYA, PUKTING, KURU, SOHA. Now you've created what we call the inner core, the inner spirit. So here you are with the bomb in your heart center, the 8 spokes of the TUTARE mantra connecting to the white hub, this outer wheel. It also contains the Sanskrit alphabet, and it also contains the 100-syllable mantra of Vajrasattva. All of that is this enclosing spirit. Then we're going to add the other 6 spheres. Each of these is a realm of emotional rebirth. The heavenly spirit is yellow, that's from arrogance. The demigod spirit is green, that's from harm and abuse. The human one is light blue, like our sky, that's from neediness. The white one is from ignorance, that's the animal realm. The red sphere is from, we call greed, or never fulfilled, never satisfied. And the black or dark blue sphere is from demonic affliction. We say extreme psychosis. And that usually is related to as the demon world of the spirits or the hell realm. So you have the hell realm, the hungry ghosts or the deprived spirits, the animal world, the human world, the war and war gods, heaven, and the heavens of the religion of the planet. This comes from the Mama, Ayu, Punya, Jana, PUKTING, KURU part of the mantra. Mama, Ayu, Punya, Jana, PUKTING, KURU. And from each of her 6 eyes, so she has right and left eye. She has a right and left eye in her right and left palm of her hand. And her feet are in full lotus with the bottoms of the feet facing upward. They have an eye and the bottom of left and right foot. So the mantra corresponds to each eye. So if you say Mama, that's the celestial. Ayud, war god. Punya, human. Jana, animal. PUKTING, deprived spirit. KURU, demonic spirit. And that corresponds with right eye, left eye, right hand, left hand, right foot, left foot. We'll practice. The TUTARE of the 7 eyes and 7 spheres. Now each of these spheres is surrounding your central sphere 6 feet out. So the gold sphere is 6 feet. Beyond that, 6 foot green one, 6 foot blue one, 6 foot or white one, 6 feet beyond that red one, and 6 feet beyond that the dark blue or black one. So that's 36 feet out from your sphere in every direction. This ought to keep your mind out of the drama field entirely. All Dharma practice is to replace the drama mind with the practice. That's how it works. After a while, no more drama mind. Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Jana Putin Kuru Soha Om Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Left-hand, Jana, Pukting, right foot, Kuru, left foot, Soha, Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha Om Jare Tutare Mama Ai Punyan Putin Kuru Soha. So the bomb is the creation sound of the totality of the space flight energy of the entire universe. and it connects to the sound Om, which is the clear light energy of your heart, connecting to the clear light energy of space. In this way, you're connecting all the elemental energies and all your awareness that we call your creation mind of the Bodhisattva to the totality of the application of erasing all the emotional conflict of all sentient beings in the universe, starting with your own, of course. And all of this happening at once. So even time is not a factor. And in practice, doing mantra visualization and so forth, you develop a state of presence, timeless awareness. There's nothing beyond that. That's the nature of everything. No beginning, no middle, no end. All interconnected in an instant. Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA Om Jara TUTARE TURE Mama I PUNYA KURU SOHA. So the inner coil of space, which is called the mother principle of the totality of everything, or the mother element, is your hub, spokes, wheel, all of that. With the Om above and the Ha below as like a spindle. And it's spinning, this energy field is spinning. And just outside, all the celestial realms in gold light, 6 feet extending. The right eye with the sound Mama is giving the clearing of the arrogance of all the religions of the planet, including Buddhism, forms of Buddhism, that cause this attachment desire realm to appear is what we call the heavenly world, celestial realm. All of it is based on pride, judgment. In the left eye, Ayu, is the war and war gods realm, which is the theme of this planet socially. And it's green colored based on erasing jealousy, this need to harm each other individually and collectively with these terrible methods based on inferiority, some kind of judgment calls that says you think you're less than for some reason. Then the right hand for the human condition, the neediness of our humans, which covers all the 84,000 emotional afflictions that arise because of judgment. Judging things good, judging things bad, judging things superior or high, judging things low or less than, judging in any shape or form. Not necessary. It causes all the pain and suffering. It causes all the emotional content. That's the human condition. So that's it. Mama, Ayu, PUNYA for JANA, wisdom for the animal world. Ignorance, humans are ignorance, rebirth, animal world. And humans that are conflicted, never enough. They become hungry ghosts, spirit. Extreme lack of any kind of necessity. And then finally, the left, that comes from the right foot. PUKTING, and then KURU is the left foot, the demonic world of the psychotic human individual who intend extreme harm to themselves, extreme harm to others, and extreme harm to the environment. Replace that all with loving kindness, unconditional love. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTING KURU SOHA. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTING KURU SOHA. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTIng KURU SOHA. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTIng KURU SOHA. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTIng KURU SOHA. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTIng KURU SOHA. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTIng KURU SOHA. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTIng KURU SOHA. Om Tare TUTARE TURE Mama PUNYA JANA PUKTIng KURU SOHA. To purify arrogance and pride, we make prostrations. We take refuge. We use the 3 jewels, the 3 roots, and the 6 bodhisattva disciplines to accomplish humility. To purify the neediness and all the negativity of that in the human condition, then we do rejoicing in the beneficial activities of our own mother that created us, and our teachers who advise us, and all the wonderful accomplishments of loving, kind, and considerate human beings, and specifically our lamas. We purify each of these disciplines of patience, requesting the teacher to stay in this world and not pass into states of nirvanic bliss, and turn the Dharma wheel so that we become precious human beings to ourselves, to each other, and to the environment. So as Pema puts in her books, we make prostrations to purify arrogance, we make offerings to purify greed, We reveal all negativities to purify our anger, hatred, and war. We rejoice to purify jealousy. We request teachings to purify ignorance. And we request TUTARE to stay in this world to keep our connection with the Dharma and all of the teachers. Whatever power we gather through this practice, may it be for the environment of this world, for the empowerment of all the beings in it, and may all the negative veils fall away, revealing the mind's radiance as the Bodhisattva goddess, TUTARE. This is her TUTARE condensed book I just got from her. Om TUTARE TUTARE TURE Mama Ai PUNYA JANA PUKTING KURU SOHA Om TUTARE TUTARE TURE Mama Ai PUNYA JANA PUKTING KURU SOHA Om TUTARE TUTARE Mama Ai PUNYA JANA PUKTING KURU SOHA Om TUTARE TUTARE TURE Mama Ai PUNYA JANA PUKTING KURU SOHA Om TUTARE TUTARE TURE Mama Ai PUNYA JANA PUKTING KURU SOHA Om TUTARE TUTARE TURE Mama Ai PUNYA JANA PUKTING KURU SOHA. Now don't forget in tantric practice to erase the practice. All of it. Everything that you say, everything that you think or imagine, all of it. And to do that, you start with the outer ring and imagine that all of the demonic spirit world turns into unopened black lotuses. Lotus symbolizes the taking of the Bodhisattva human rebirth on a planet. So they all are unopened dark blue, and they disappear into the red of the deprived spirit. Then it disappears into the white of the animal world. All these red unopened lotus and all the white unopened lotus, and all the blue ones of the human world, all of that disappears into the dark green of the war and war god, and all of those unopened green lotuses into the arrogant realms of the celestial gods and goddesses, Indra, Shiva, Brahma, all of those, whatever religious tradition. And all of this together disappears into the hub of the Mama Aya Punya Jana mantra of your spirit. And it disappears into the 8 spokes of the original TUTARE mantra. Then the Om from above and the Ha disappear into the Bam and the Har center along with the mantra is all the mantra sounds. Then you as white TUTARE disappear into the Bam. Then the Bam together with the 5-colored spirit, clear light around it disappears into space, either contracts to a particle or expands to the limitless to the limitless boundaries of space, boundless space. At that point, no meditation, no mantra, no visualization, no any of it. You simply rest in the present moment in a state of voidness. Maha Mudra. Maha means great. Mudra means view, position, or commitment. Simply clear light in the present moment. That's it. No drama, no judgment. Don't block your sensual perceptions of your body. Don't block your thought. It's all just energy. Relax. In bliss. looks like this. Before we dedicate the merit tonight, you remember to arise in your post-meditational involvement in the drama world as Tara, and all sound is her mantra. So you generate that as a healing energy program in your involvement with all other beings, family, friends, relatives, enemies, so forth, in the drama world of distraction around you. Now Tara, besides the 5 colors of silk being the 5 signifying the 5 elements, she has 6 kinds of jewels that she wears, the peaceful deity. Those are the 6 disciplines of the Bodhisattva. They're called the 6 perfections. And each jewel represents a quality. So the 3 that ornament the upper part of the head, those are compassion, power, and insight or wisdom. Those apply to all Bodhisattva symbols and to all lamas or teachers. Then she has 20 other qualities signified by the jewels of the other ornaments that she's wearing. The first is swift protection, which is part of her mantra. Then creative wisdom. This is how to apply your wisdom energy in the world so that it's not only beneficial but appropriate. Impeccable virtue, never harming self, others, or the environment. Always victorious, accomplishing what you set out to do. Sublime intelligence means your intuitive awareness fully developed so that you know what and how to apply. Worthy of honor, nothing beyond it. Invincible courage, abandon fear. Destroys negativity, replace it with positive action. True refuge means spiritually accomplishing Buddhahood. Joy and laughter, absolutely necessary, relates to bliss. Distributor of wealth, also absolutely necessary. Auspicious beauty, that's in the eyes of the beholder and applied to your mandala and everyone. Irresistible truth, to replace the relative truth of how people think things are, and how they in fact, how they actually are. Ferocious compassion, always applied 24/7 to everyone. Serene peace, the accomplishment of avoidance. The destroyer of attachment, the #1 obstacle to being mature. Bliss and joy together to have fun. The transformer of all poison or toxins used in all healing applications, both as the cause of and the remedy. Radiant health, that's our whole program. And complete enlightenment means complete maturity as a man or woman in the human condition on a planet as a way of being in the world. That's it. Om Tara, TUTARE, TURE, SOHA. We recite these mantras of Tara, imagining sending countless offerings to the Enlightened One, and at the same time blessings and radiant light of wisdom and compassion into the world, satisfying the needs of all the beings in the world. Whatever blessings we generate through these sincere practices, we dedicate it to the benefit of all sentient beings. May all be happy, free of suffering, established in bliss and equanimity. And that's just the start of the 10-day retreat, all condensed into one very handy booklet. Now we dedicate the merit of this session tonight in Sanskrit first. Eva di nirdu da chabya champo jugir ne jowa chinkin malu pa devi sala gopasho sanjay kusum nempha jamma dam shonin Genpai Jinwa Dong, Gendu, Niche Dunpai Jinwa Ki, Chitar Goma Momam Dupa Sho. By this virtue of having realized Mahavirgin, they quickly established all beings without a single exception in that state. By the blessings of the three bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of this Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of us in all Sangha being unwavering, may this and all dedication prayers be fulfilled. May all the Lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of suffering, established in bliss, equality, equanimity, and evenness of mind. Uchiche, mahalo, thank you. And much aloha from Hawaii and juicy dreams.
Thank you, Lama Tashi.